What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Okay, so question number one. Why does Zora Neale Hurston take the title of the book from this section? Okay, so this is the part of the book where there's a hurricane about to hit the muck or the Everglades, and it's like a trying time and it's stressful. And like by saying that they're watching God, he means like Janie's looking for signs like from God, like to point her down the right path, or like she does that throughout the book. But in this passage, it's also like the climax of the book, kind of. And it would make sense if the title is taken from the climax of the book. It's the most important part.
And in the passage, like a quote from it is, they huddled closer and stared at the door. They just didn't use another part of their bodies, and they didn't look at anything but the door. 6 eyes were questioning God. So when they're looking at the door, they are awaiting their fate that God has planned for them, and so they're questioning what God has planned for them. And they're like, the door represents God in a way, because like what comes through that door is like what their
Or
path
it's kind of
is.
like their fate. Like they're
Yeah.
waiting to see what he has in store for them.
Yeah, so like the door is also their fate, and they're like keeping their eyes on the door because they want to know what their fate is.
Next question. Okay. So the next question. Why are the characters questioning when they're watching God? So they're basically questioning like God's path for them and like their fate, because if they had chosen the right fate, I feel like Janie believes that like they should be rewarded instead of being punished, because a hurricane's kind of like a punishment from God, I guess, like
yeah,
karma.
It's a
kinda.
horrible thing. Yeah.
Like they're like karma, like nipping them in the butt for like bad choices they've made. But yeah.
And also in this passage, like TK then questions making Janie move down to the muck with him, and he feels guilty because if the hurricane hurts or even kills Janie, then he feels that it will be his fault because he was the one that made the choice to move down there, and like he doesn't want that to happen, so he's questioning like his own like motives and his own choice.
Valid point. Okay. So question number 3, how is this a microcosm for the whole book? So Janie is always like second guessing herself, like the decisions she makes, and like questioning her decisions, and she wants like to look for some guidance, and she looks for that in like faith and God. And this is kind of relates to it, but like when like she's always looking for like the perfect path that because God has made for her to walk down, but, like instead of just like going with, wanna help me out?
Going with what is given to her right there, like going with Logan and going with Jody and being happy, she keeps on idealizing
She's looking for the perfect like pear tree blossom love, but like that's really unrealistic. But I like she doesn't have a realistic like idea of what love is.
yeah, and like she's watching God or waiting to see what his plan is for her, and maybe like this whole book she's thinking that there's something more for her out there, and like when she's with Logan she like wants something more, and when she's with Jody like she wants something more, so she's always wanting something more from God. And it seems that she feels right like the path she is on like isn't what she's supposed to be on, and she's supposed to be like somewhere else on another road.
She's never satisfied with what she has, even though like even if she doesn't have it bad, she just wants like the perfect life.
Yeah.
But she doesn't get it because she.
Yeah, and so like it just relates like the title, like their eyes are watching God, so it's saying it kind of like makes it bigger, and like so like everyone kind of watches God, and like everyone kind of waits for what their goal is in life and like why are they here like on this earth. Like it brings in that bigger question, like and that can relate to like everyone, because everyone kind of thinks like, what is my purpose like when I'm born, and like what is the point of my life.
Exactly.